So he will tell you. Now, Dr. Sharad Mukherjee, please. Unmute yourself, Sharadji, and talk.
Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you, we can hear you.
Okay, good morning everybody, and thank you very much for, once again, thank you Krishnamurthy for including me in this elite group. As I said, I am an outsider. From that point of view, I got my first opportunity to visit Antarctica in 1985 with the 5th expedition, and since everybody is Antarctican here, I need not give in detail how it feels going there and what we have to do. As you have said, I will tell you why at least GSI was interested in going to Antarctica. All of you know that Antarctica and India were once connected. They were joined together, a single continent, that is Gondwana land it was, which later broke away from Antarctica, and India has moved far north. That meant that the geology of Antarctica must be very similar to that of India. And fortunately, the first expedition landed at a place from where Walthert Mountains is not far off. And Walthert Mountain has been the area of our interest, because Walthert Mountains till that time was not physically mapped by any country or any scientist. So it was during the 5th expedition that we made an attempt to actually camp at Gruber Massif of Walthert Mountains, and there Indian Air Force played a very vital role. They shifted us from Maitri to Gruber Massif. They helped us in establishing the camp. There was a experience. The first night was end off, and we're all sleeping outside in the open. Vinko Natarajan is here. My salute to him, and I hope he remembers me. Then Group Captain Yasudas is here. We were all together in that expedition. I can also see my friend Shankar Malwade, with whom I wintered over at DG that very year. Geological Survey of India mapped about 800 square kilometers of area for the first time, I tell you, by application location. That has led to Antarctica as far as geology is concerned. Since then, Geological Survey of India has mapped about 20,000 square kilometers in Antarctica. Work is still going on, though ground mapping has stopped, and more serious research work on detailed aspects is going on. My last visit to Antarctica, that was the 4th visit, was in 2009 when I visited Brazilian station as a guest expeditioner, you can say, and I retired from the Geological Survey of India in 2011. So it is 10 years, and I have lost a lot of touch. Thanks to Vinko Krishnamurthy that he has introduced me once again to all of you, and he has really brought me back to the old days. I would like to hear others also and not take much of your time, and whenever you want I can share my experiences later on. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, Sharad Saab. It is indeed a great pleasure to hear from you. Now may I request Shankar Malwade a brief wintering what you did along with others. And I have forgotten in between, I welcome all the high-spirited persons, seniors, and who have done well in the thing. They have joined us. Thank you so much. And we will like to share more and more, and we like to hear from you later. Now, Shankar Malwade, go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
So first of all, I give my lot of thanks to Krishnamurthy sir for giving me an opportunity to speak to my expedition members, old members. And after 35 years, we could see each other. Although we have changed a lot, but I can remember some of the things, and I can remember Wing Commander Natarajan also. I was a member of 3rd Wintering Team from 1985 to 1987. I just came from Soviet Union in 1983 after commissioning destroyer class ship INS Ranjit, and having experience of Russian language, I was selected for 3rd wintering team. Although for naval person, working in ice was never we experienced this. But Indian Navy had given a chance and we could do it better because of all colleagues of all armed forces personnel, Indian Navy, Army, Air Force and all scientists. So the most what Wing Commander Natarajan is saying that in November 1986, I received a call from Soviet station that is Navladarskaya, which was away from Dakshin Gongitri. And it was saying that it was an emergency call on radio saying that their member, one of the member, expedition member, is having appendix attack and he should be brought to your station. Immediately I told my leader, Dr. Dhargalkar, then Dr. Mukherjee was there. I told them this has to be done it immediately. All the wind was blowing, sir. And I went out, I went to with a vehicle and brought that fellow along with the other team members of the Russian team. And we could check up everything. And Major Adya from Army, he was a physician there along with us. We decided that if we cannot operate him, we cannot do a surgery, he may lose his life. So we have contacted our headquarters, our station, then our department in Delhi, Science Ministry was called, and then we convinced them that if this is not done, the fellow may die because it was a very critical condition he was. Then since I was very fluent in Russian language, so I was asked to do a nursing assistant duty. So we could, on a kitchen table, we could operate giving local anesthesia to that Russian fellow, Russian member, and he was operated successfully. And really, the Prime Minister of India, Rajiv Gandhi, then K.R. Narayan, Minister of Science and Technology, he called us. And this news was in Indian Express in 1986 that in Dakshin Gangotri, the members of the 3rd wintering team and the Indians have carried out a successful operation. It was a great experience, sir. I remembered, and now also that fellow who was being operated the appendix, he's alive. I'm in touch with him. He is living in Ukraine now. He is fine and he is healthy, sir. And the second experience we was there in the wintering team was, sir, after when 5th expedition team left for India, we stayed back 14 members, including Dr. Sharad Mukherjee. Immediately after that, we carried out one trip to Navladarskaya, that is a Russian station, and without having much knowledge of the wind and blizzard, we were caught up there for 52 hours, sir. We were not much away from the Dakshin Gangotri. We were not much away from Gangotri. We were unable to see it because of the blizzard. The wind was very high. And Dr. Mukherjee was on the other station, in the base camp. And for 52 hours, although we were trapped, we were having very little bit of foods, then other things. But all the members, we all defend, but there were one driver was from Army, one Colonel Unni was there, and I was from Navy. We three were there along with another 3 scientists. We kept the morale of the other teams very high, sir. We never lost our faith, we never lost our confidence, and we could survive. It was a big news. There was a lot of havoc in New Delhi where this fellow was trapped. The Russian station was contacted, but they were also unable to contact us. But you know, sir, in Antarctica during a blizzard time, the equipments like radio equipments, sir, in the frequencies disturbed. Even VHF set cannot be used with the strength, with the proper strength. Then another sets also. We were without communication for 52 hours. We were caught up in blizzard, but due to the what Navy or what Defense Forces has trained us, thanks to all the armed forces, to the Navy also, that for our rigid training, and we have not lose our confidence, and we never allowed others members, other civilians to lose, or other scientists to lose their confidence, sir, and we could survive. And because of that dedication to the service, then I was awarded Nav Sena Medal on 26 January of 1987, sir. And presently, sir, after leaving Navy, I was the electrical officer in a merchant Navy. Now I am in active politics. I was a deputy mayor of Satara Municipal Council. I am doing here a social work, and also participating in this and contributing to the helping to the administrative authority for COVID pandemic. And now also I have been given by government of Maharashtra the special award for social work by Department of Sainik Welfare Pune, which is working for Maharashtra. I will be doing this continuing doing this my service, sir, social work, and I will make sure that defense forces or armed forces personals will never let down what dignity we have, and will work selflessly without doing any corruption and without keeping high was culture of armed forces, sir. And once again, sir, I thanks Krishnamurthy sir for having me invited here. I could see my all colleagues, Dr. Mukherjee and everyone. I thanks again Krishnamurthy sir for having given me a chance, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Anything, sir?
Shankar, thank you so much. It is not just me. Please remember TBR. What is written on is TBR unstoppable. He is a gentleman who cannot be stopped. He cannot be controlled. And Sharad Yadav. Okay, these two are the one who
Pathak,
are
sir, Pathak,
pioneer. Sharad Pathak. Sharad Pathak. These are the two guys who have started this Air Warriors group. Okay, and in between when we came and when I spoke about this, he said, sir, this is the one which you have not heard from anyone. Can somebody, sir? I said, yes, straight from the horse's mouth. Thank you so much. Now, may I request Gauripati, Vinko Gauripati, where are you? Put your hand up. Vinko Gauripati.
Jai Hind to everyone. I prefer this Jai Hind salutation compared to good morning, good afternoon, because my ex-boss, Group Captain D.K. Das, VRC, is here. He started this salutation much before even Air Force started. Coming back to my experience as far as the expedition are concerned, I am a Met officer from the 9th expedition. There are technical people, there are pilots, as well as only one of that nature is a Met officer in general expeditions. I was member of a 9th scientific expedition to Antarctica. I happened to work as a meteorologist basically there. But being on an expedition of this nature, your profession is a part. You are a member of the team and you have to work on whatever task which was given to us. Fortunately, I could attend to that. In addition to that, the Met officers have the task of ex officio ATC officers. So whatever traffic is there, we had 2 helicopters, 2 Chetaks and 2 Mi-8s with us. AVM Samuel is one of our members who is also in the present group now. He will tell more about air operations. As far as meteorology is concerned, we are base our forecast mainly on data. As far as Antarctica is concerned, we have no data available there, except that from South African capital Pretoria, we used to get certain facts charts as well as certain satellite imageries on which we used to interpret and forecast for this thing. Another drawback which we had as Met officers is throughout our life, we did our forecasting for tropical latitudes, and forecasting in mid and high latitudes is an impossible task for us. But notwithstanding that, I could live up to the expectations of my team leader, Wing Commander Vijay Kumar, and most of the forecasts definitely were quite helpful. As far as my Met challenges are concerned, once I was called by my team leader, Mr. Rasik Ravindra. He told there was a sledge operation to be taken between Dakshin Gangotri and Maitri stations. It will take 4 days, and he asked me, I want 5 clear days to be forecast by you so that we can undertake this operation. Asking for 5 days of clear forecast in Antarctican weather is asking like a moon. But in spite of that, with whatever data I had, I have advised the leader, and that particular operation went off so successfully. The team leader was so happy with me. And secondly, on way back when we were about to come back, suddenly the captain of the ship, Headland, called me to his desk and asked me, from the route which I am going to Goa, I am facing a lot of hard ice. Can you suggest me another route? Then I happened to have a look at the satellite pictures and asked him to steer about 20 nautical miles in a north-northwesterly direction. From there, if he sets course to Goa, then the waters are much more comfortable. That has saved our return journey by almost 1.5 days. Now, as far as life is concerned, it's a beautiful there. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And to describe a once-in-a-lifetime experience in 5 minutes is rather harsh on us. But notwithstanding, all of the speakers till now have spoken without showing any images. Last time also people were talking of Dakshin Gangotri and then Maitri, then also Russian and this thing. I have just photographs of these stations which I'll show for each about 15 seconds or 10 seconds. I don't take much of time. I'll just share my screen with you.
Thank you, Gauripati.
Can you?
Now, may I request? Go ahead.
People are talking of Tuleland. Can you see my screen, please?
No, we can't see. We can't see.
Basically, I just want to show some pictures. People are talking of. Oh God.
1 second.
Anyway, this ship in which we are moving is called ice class. There are difference between ice breakers and ice class. You know, ice breakers have certain kind of blades in front of their ships. Whereas, by the sheer weight of the ship, it breaks the ice like this and then makes way through like this. Okay. So just give me 2 minutes and let other speaker come and I'll bring back my presentation, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes.
Okay. Now, may I request AVM NM Samuel to share his experience.
Thank you, sir. Good
So,
morning.
for the knowledge of all our air wars, he is our Air Vice Marshal Nicodemus Manohar Samuel, sir. He is a Veer Chakra holder during 1987 that IPKF operations. Yes, sir. We have a pleasure coming here, sir. Welcome, sir. AVM Samuel, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone.
1 minute, Samuel. 1 minute. Before Samuel starts, I want to tell, after he returned in the 7th expedition, I asked Samuel, will you go again, please? He looked at me. He said, I've just returned. You're asking me this question. But he was so kind to accept and went in the 9th expedition again. As 8th expedition. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. My going to Antarctica was entirely due to the credit of Krishnamurthy, sir. In 1989, I was in Sri Lanka, and he happened to visit our detachment there. And out of the blue, he asked me, do you want to go to Antarctica? I had not even heard of Antarctica till then. And I said yes. And he made sure that I went. And I was just a flight lieutenant at the time. Probably, I don't think anyone, a flight lieutenant had ever gone as a pilot till then. So I went on the 9th and the 10th expeditions in 1989 and 1990. And I would definitely say that this was the high point of my life, not just my career. It was a high point of my life. I still look upon those 2 expeditions as the high point of my life. It's like, it's just like a fairy tale. You get up one morning and you find that the world has turned white. It's like what you hear in your childhood. It's as fascinating as that. And so when I came back and Krishnamurthy sir asked me if I would like to get again, I was actually quite thrilled. And even though I was to get married that year, I went again for the 2nd expedition and postponed my wedding to the following year. And that's how good it was and how fascinating it was. And I'm happy I did that. there are many things you can talk about Antarctica. Like somebody said, you can carry on talking for hours on Antarctica because it's such a fascinating place. But one of the things that I very clearly remember is the remarkable visibility in Antarctica. I remember getting airborne for the first time after we reached there, and I was doing the first sortie with, at that time, Scott Leader Nutt, and we could see a mountain range in the distance. And he asked me, "How far do you think is that?" And I was trying to make random guesses, but we flew for 1 hour to reach that mountain range, which means it was 200 kilometers away. That's the kind of visibility you find in Antarctica. It is quite an amazing place, and like that we can talk about a lot of other things. But one of the things I remember very clearly in the 9th expedition is the unfortunate accident that we had. We lost 4 of our expedition members, 3 scientists and 1 naval petty officer. They died of carbon monoxide poisoning. We had dropped them at a camp in the Humboldt Mountains, and then the next day when we went to give them rations, we found that they seemed to be sleeping in the tents, but they probably ran the generator within the tent for a short time, which they all knew very well that they should not do. But probably because of the extreme cold, it was minus 40 degrees or so that at that place. And so we had to bring back bodies after that. And that put the whole expedition into a complete spin because everyone was so demoralized, and the entire euphoria of the expedition went nosedived into the ground. And everyone was so discouraged and demoralized that actually it appeared like we could not carry on with the expedition. But I'll give credit to the defense people in the expedition, the Army, Navy, and the Air Force people. We, because of our experience and because of our orientation with these kind of emergencies, we continued doing our jobs, and we slowly got the scientists and everyone else to come back and start working again. And it took quite some time because the bodies, they didn't know what to do with the bodies, and they were on the deck for almost a month before they could be brought back to India. And so that was one of the incidents which occurred during that expedition. Of course, a lot of others have spoken about a lot of other experiences, and I will share all of them. I would acknowledge that it's as fascinating and as beautiful a place as everyone has said. I'll stop here so that others can also continue. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Samuel. You have been very kind. In a nutshell, you put across a lot of points. I just wanted to tell the audience that the dead bodies, I was in the Air Headquarters that time. We chartered an IL-76 from USSR. It went all the way and brought the dead bodies back. And that was the timely action, as AVM Samuel said, because it was a kind of a demotivating factor keeping the body there. And they were all evacuated. Now may I request Madabushi Anand, a pilot and an experienced pilot and a test pilot, of his experience in Antarctica. And please tell us what was special about your particular expedition and make us feel happy. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Just to follow up on Air Vice Marshal Nicodemus Samuel, I was there in his helicopter when he received his VRC, and I was a co-pilot to him, and I received my VM gallantry for the same experience that we had during our time for evacuation and during IPKF operations. So being in the same squadron as Nicodemus Samuel was, I was truly enthused to do this visit to Antarctica. So on the year of my marriage, I decided, just after I got married in 1991, I decided to go to Antarctica. And it was not liked at my residence, but anyway, they all supported me, and I just boarded the ship and then went. It was Thululand. Subsequently, if I'm able to, I would like to share a painting which I did there with Thululand in the background so that everybody can have an understanding of what this place is, what the ship is, and how Antarctica is, and what is fast ice and other things. Okay, just to start up, after leaving from Goa, we had two Air Force helicopters, Mi-8s, and two naval helicopters. And this was the 11th expedition. And we sailed, and it takes about 25 days, 22 days to reach Antarctica via Mauritius. So it was my first visit to Mauritius also. And having reached Antarctica with all this roaring 40s, then the 60s and everything, we were pleasantly taken aback by what Samuel said regarding the visibility. That was what had taken me also. And we were initially on the fast ice berth, which was around 100 kilometers. Our regular routine was to carry fuel, the diesel which was required by the people at the Maitri station. By that time, when we had gone, Dakshin Gangotri had already sunk underground because it was on shelf ice, and we used to shuttle every day a lot of fuel up and down. So this was our main job till the fast ice broke. The fast ice, incidentally, is something which is about 1 meter thickness, and on which we can land, and the penguins also move around, and we can even take our snow scooters. But once this fast ice breaks, when there is a swell, and then the ship moves closer to berth next to the shelf ice. Shelf ice are the ice which are about quite tall, and when they break, they become icebergs actually. So this was good. And then once we moved closer to the shelf ice, then it was much easier for them to take the fuel and other things. So then we started helping the scientists to move around and do all their work, whether they were from ASI or they were from GSI or from Department of Ocean Development, whichever place they were, or NIO. We used to help them, move them around, and then get back. So it was a wonderful experience. Now, if I would request the host to just give me authorization for sharing a screen, I will quickly share the screen so that I can show them what the Toleland ship is and what the fast ice and shelf ice is.
Yes.
And just to conclude, I would say that after traveling for 22 days, then we were there for about 2 months, and then return journey was another 22 days. And it was a wonderful experience. I had no regrets to go to Antarctica during the year of my marriage, and I was welcomed by my wife and my family when I came back. It was a wonderful experience, and thanks to again Department of Ocean Development to have arranged this. And if I'm able to share, anyway, maybe I will be able to do this. I have the painting here with me.
Yeah, you can show. Yeah, you can show it.
Painting itself.
Fantastic.
Okay, this is a painting, and to go over, this is the Toleland, and these are the penguins that are there.
Yes, sir.
And on the background, you can see the shelf ice.
Yeah.
And you can see one Mi-8 helicopter also on the ship. And this painting I had done on the ship at Antarctica.
So what a creativity, sir, for you.
For the information of everyone, Anand is a very prolific painter.
Yeah.
He actually has exhibitions in Bangalore on his paintings.
Yeah, we can see a lot of creativity in his paintings, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much for having given me this opportunity, Wing Commander Krishnamurthy, as well as TBR Unstoppable and Sharad Patakji. Thank you very much.
So nice of you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful narration.
It is actually, we are grateful to you for having accepted and make us. Now, I think, has anyone from the Antarctica team left to talk? I think all of us have.
Sir, if you permit me, I will show the slides.
Sorry,
Yeah.
who is talking?
Gauripati, sir.
Okay, sir. I'll make you the host. 1 second, sir.
Try it. I may throw open the audience to ask a few questions. We have not got much of time, and please go ahead. Now, may I request Group Captain Das to start?
I congratulate them all. And out of that lot, I know Wing Commander Gauripati. He was with me at Karaikunda and then later on at Tambaram. So I have a long association with Gauripati. Anyway, thanks a lot and well done, Air Warriors. Good show.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Patil, may I have your
outstanding, and it is an extraordinary experience. Very, very rare to feel such kind of experience by hearing it. It can be only felt. Really, it is a rich experience in life. Thanks a lot, sir.
Just for the information of everyone, Mr. Patil, retired commissioner, sir.
Commissioner for Textiles, sir. I was
Commissioner for Textiles in Karnataka. So, our hands to him. Now, may we request Group Captain Nigam, if you have any questions.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed the session. I was standby Met Officer for 12th expedition where I went up and visited. I was at Thululand for about a month's time, loading and all that. Doing up putting the helicopter in the, taking out the rotors and things like that as a Met Officer. It was a good experience, and the narrations, especially by, I don't know his rank, Vinku Roy, was very, very nice, and he had moved. He was moved while narrating the incidents. That shows his involvement in the thing, and every speaker did his best. Thank you.
Before anyone, please, I have to ask pardon from Chandramouli Reddy. I specially requested him to join us. He is the only flight gunner, the load master amongst us. Kindly tell your experience, your load master experience in Antarctica, please. Sorry, Chandramouli.
I was, this expedition came to me as a surprise from our commanding officer, Wing Commander Natarajan at that time, at Hindon. All of a sudden, he called me to his chamber and he just told that this is the requirement. Are you interested? I was not knowing anything. I just took little time. I said, sir, give me little time. I went to crew room. I discussed with our gunnery leader. Gunnery leader said, yeah, go ahead, nothing is there. And he accompanied me, and both of us went and we gave annuity to him. And then subsequently everything went done. And incidentally, this is, I was in 6th expedition. That is the expedition which went on very smoothly without any incidents and accidents. And Wing Commander Krishnamurthy sir also was there with us in that same expedition. It was a unique experience. Since constraints of time, I would like to conclude here. And thank you very much, Krishnamurthy sir. Next time I will speak a little elaborately and explain my experiences. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Incidentally, Chandramouli Reddy, who spoke just now, Yadu and myself, we were together in the 6th expedition.
Yes, sir.
Now,
yes, sir.
Dr. Murudkar, your comments, please. Dr. Murudkar is experienced academician. He has been a vice chancellor to 2 of the universities. Am I right, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Unmute yourself, sir. Murudkar,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Unmute yourself.
Doctor,
Unmute, sir.
Unmute,
Murudkar,
yes,
sir. Yes, sir. You can speak.
It's really a great honor. I consider it to be my great honor for me to hear the stories of entire mission Antarctica. The leaders and the team consistently they have gone and achieved the purpose for which they were sent for. I think I was really moved by Wing Commander Roy's this one narration, and also the many other people who have participated in that particular mission. I can't just imagine that in a foreign land like Antarctica, you are stranded there with no hope of returning back. But our people have carried out the mission very successfully in spite of all the adverse conditions. I personally salute all those people who have taken the parts to make this mission very successful. Jai Hind.
Right.
Yeah.
Sir, we have a group captain, a Brigadier Apte sir also on the call, sir.
Yeah, where is Brigadier Apte? And good morning, sir. Suresh Karnik, sir. Apte, sir. Till he comes online, may I request Suresh Karnik to say a few words. Please unmute yourself and talk.
Yeah, thank you. Very, very informative given by the speakers. All speakers did so well that I can really picturize what must have been happening there, with particular reference to visibility 200 kilometers. Never unimaginable. And other information also which the speakers have given us, full marks. Thank you very much for the informative.
Okay, Quatra sir. Wing Commander Quatra.
Yeah. In fact, the beginning part I missed. I was a little preoccupied due to unavoidable. But whatever I have heard, I can very well imagine. Beautifully put across. I am sure everyone has understood. Like, just imagine the visibility 200 kilometers. You just can't imagine. And I must say it was very informative, and for everyone who has attended and those who have not attended, I am sure they have missed out something. I am looking forward for the next session which Krish has just promised. We are going to hold it somewhere in August. Thank you very much, and my congratulations to all the speakers. Thank you, Krish, and thank
you, Quatra ji. Now may I request Honorary Flying Officer Sethi Sahib